Welcome to Podpinions, where the world's on fire, and we show up like it's a backyard barbecue. Politicians roasted. Woke trends torched. Common sense, we've got you covered.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Podpinions.
I'm Rich.
I'm Bruce. We're back once again.
Number 18.
Number 18. We're getting there.
We're getting there big time. Hey, like us, subscribe.
Yeah. Follow us everywhere. If you want to check out our videos, Rumble, YouTube, Spotify for podcasters. We're on there, and audio, Spotify and
Pandora.
We've got
We're everywhere.
Amazon, Apple, iHeart. It's all there. It'll flash across the screen there. So check out our different places we're at, and like, follow, comment,
Subscribe.
And
we're interested in hearing your podpinion.
That's right. Everybody's got a podpinion, right?
Absolutely. I heard a million of them today from a bunch of different people, including the plumber.
Yeah.
Our hot water heater decided to
Created a waterfall. Right?
Yeah, created a waterfall this morning. Oh, man.
So
unbelievable.
Fun to come into.
Great, isn't it?
Yeah.
Great fun.
Yep.
But it's fixed. We have hot water again. Yay.
At least we didn't lose all the water, right?
Right.
So
what's happening?
What isn't happening? It's just another week of, oh my goodness, can't keep up.
I read it. Well, okay. So the biggie is, well, there's a bunch of biggies, but Trump, as you all know, he called out the National Guard in Washington, D.C. Mm. Now he's also threatening to do it in Chicago, New York, and wherever.
Right.
Which I'm not sure if he can do or not, but we shall see. Mm-hmm. It'll be interesting, but he's really pushing the envelope. So I read this article today.
Buttons all over the place.
My God, these people are losing their minds. He's basically like, he's just riding them, man. It's like unbelievable. He is like playing them like a violin.
Right.
It's unbelievable.
He keeps saying he walks them like a dog.
It's unbelievable. So he wants to drive the crime rate down, right? So what does he do? He sends the National Guard to Washington, D.C. Mm-hmm. And constitutionally, he's allowed to do that because it's the District of Columbia, which it's a federal city. It's not a state.
Not a state, right.
Right. So the biggie is that all the mayors and governors of all these other states are losing their minds because they're saying it's unconstitutional, right, and God forbid, blah, 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 blah. So now for years, we have been hearing from these same people,
right,
that they're fighting to get the crime rate down.
Yes.
So here's Trump actually doing it, and they're losing their minds. They're losing their minds.
We don't need it, or the crime rate is down, and
it's unbelievable. Right. So for years, they've been screaming and yelling that they've been struggling to overcome the GOP accusations that they were soft on crime. Well, they were soft on crime because they're letting these people out.
Right.
Bail, no bail, mm-hmm, letting these people out. And
he did something with something about cash, no
cash bail.
Right.
Yeah. Right. He's ending that.
Right.
In DC. Right. I don't know if he can do that federally, but in DC. So they're absolutely losing it. And it's really funny because he turned it on them.
Yes. So now they're screaming and yelling
that they don't want that.
They don't want that, where they were screaming and yelling. They needed, to get the crime under control. And
so now he is.
Ban guns and all this stuff. Every time there's something going on, it's, we got to strip everybody of their gun rights. And then somebody comes in and does something about
and they
the crime,
lose it.
And they don't want it.
So now that he sent troops into D.C. he wants to send more into like violent prone cities such as New York, Chicago, San Francisco, Los Angeles, mm-hmm, New Orleans. And just as they did decades ago, the Democrats are walking into a trap.
Yep. I believe it.
So I think he set them up. Mm-hmm. I could be wrong.
No.
But why would they look like idiots.
Yeah. Well, and it exposes them to the citizens of their cities.
Right. But first they want it. Right. Now they're saying, no, we don't want our streets to be safer.
Trump is going to make the example out of Washington, D.C. He's going to do what he can do legally by cleaning it up, stopping the crime, and then he's going to say, all right, what's going on over here? What's going on over? Why are the citizens letting your elected officials get away with this stuff?
It's craziness.
Yeah. So that's what I think he's doing. He's setting the example. It's not just a piece of paper with statistics, whether the numbers are correct or not, or somebody's cooking the books or not cooking the books. He's actually doing something that's going to bring down the crime rate.
And they're actually opposing all this, which is mind-numbing.
So if I'm a citizen of that city and I've been listening to how, we got to get the crime rate under control and, it's all this stuff, guns or whatever, and then they're letting all the criminals out, walk, cashless bail, just, a revolving door. And then all of a sudden, Washington, D.C. gets
cleaned up.
The citizens have to hold their elected officials.
Well, I actually know a bunch of people. I know. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, it's all good.
But I actually knew some people that actually moved out of D.C. because the crime got so bad. Mm-hmm. They sold their houses and they out.
Yeah.
So hopefully things will clean up.
Yeah. No, and all you got to do is go on social media X and True Social, even Instagram, and you see videos of citizens going. I saw one, there hadn't been a murder in 11 days or something like that. I don't know if it's true, but if that's happening, and it's been a week and a half?
Yeah.
What's going on in these cities that these elected officials and city councils and all this stuff can't do?
Well, they're taking the power away from their police departments.
Of course, yeah.
So here's my big questions. Let's just hypothetically say this all works out and the crime rate drops down to next to nothing.
Just hold that thought. How many counselors did he send in to clean up D.C.? Wasn't that the thing, was supposed to defund the police and send in crisis counselors instead of the
That's
police?
What they wanted.
Yeah. Right. How many did Trump send in?
0.
Okay.
As far as I know.
Just checking.
800 and something.
Yeah. National Guard,
but 0 counselors.
Right.
So hypothetically, let's say he cleans it all up. He pulls the National Guard out. Do we go back to the high crime rate now? Mm-hmm. I mean, what's going to happen?
Well, again,
that's my question.
Once you've shown the example, and that's one thing that Trump is doing, is he's actually given examples of what has to happen. It's not, he's a Russia double agent and we have to keep all the documents secret, top secret, because it's so dangerous. We can't let it out. But I saw it and you got to trust me. He's a Russian secret agent.
That pencil neck geek is still saying that crap, which blows me away.
Yeah, but he is started a defense fund.
True.
You heard about that,
yes.
Right? So, but Trump's actually doing the work and making the example. So results versus talk. He's setting the example, making results, and that is going to go a lot further, in my view, my Podpinion, than somebody saying, "Oh, yeah, you can't see the documents, but they're true."
Yeah, but do you think once the National Guard is out of D.C. that it's going to stay clean?
The citizens and the police department and the citizens putting the elected officials in charge, now they have the example. So it's basically in their hands.
True.
So either they let it slip back and go back to the way it was, or they put people in charge, elect people that will actually protect them and not.
Because even around here, it's bad.
Play the game.
I mean, we're having some nasty stuff going on here.
Yeah. Yep.
It's.
Yeah. Somebody I saw a couple clips of, city officials and that sort of thing in Philly, and that, better not do it here. Crime is down.
Yeah. Okay.
And
Philly's a cesspool.
They don't have any citizens on there giving their opinions. It's just a newscaster and the official. So, but again, Trump's putting out the actual examples, and he's going to show what should be done. And then listen, Trump is elected for 4 years, and what's going to happen after that, we'll see. Who gets elected, who gets in, but it's up to the people to take care of it and maintain it. Like, I just was watching another podcast, and, we're at the age now where, the baton has been handed to us. And once you get to be like 40 something,
I'm way past that.
But, the older generation is passing the baton to us, and we have to maintain or make better what they passed on to us. And obviously, I don't think it's really been a great job so far. So we gotta leave our kids and our grandkids better than what we inherited here.
We would hope so.
So it's up to the people. And that's why I keep saying, well, we keep talking about voting. And last I heard, Scott Pressler, I think it was about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, he put out Pennsylvania was like 58,000 registered voters from flipping to blue to red.
Okay.
So if you're not registered to vote,
just register
to vote.
That does scare me, though, because all these Democrats flipping to red, they could be doing that just to screw up the primaries.
Yeah, it could, but I don't.
See, I'm definitely I don't think everybody's an axe murderer until proven otherwise.
I don't think they're thinking that deeper, because then the election would have went the other way.
Maybe.
You know what I mean? So I don't think they're thinking that deep.
I just look at the overall picture.
Yeah,
and
I think they're mostly smoke and mirrors. I think they put on a big show, and they don't have any actual thing to show for it. They talk a lot. They talk about the numbers and the crime is down, but when everybody can see it, it's not.
Well, right
down.
before we came on here, I tried to look up the DC crime numbers, and it goes up to like 2004, and like everything now, what's going on, squished.
Mm-hmm. So again, they don't have any actual. There's no reality. It's all reality TV. That's all it is.
It's all the Truman Show.
Yes. So that's what's being exposed.
I hope you're right, Bruce. I really do, because
it took him about 2 years, and he did admit it.
I did admit it, because I'm a guy who, the glass is not half full. It's like empty,
yeah.
Right? Not even half empty. It's just empty, and everybody's an axe murderer until proven otherwise. And so I'm very skeptical. Mm-hmm. I'm like the skeptic. Mm-hmm. And he's been telling me for years now what was going to happen. It's like, yeah, okay, sure. Yeah. Yep.
I'll believe it when I see it. Believe it when I see it.
And now it's all coming true. And yes, I fessed up and I said, you were right. Mm-hmm. As hard as that was to do.
Sometimes, it's cool to sit on the 50-yard line, a couple seats back, and you're right there with I don't know if you don't like football, but people who've been to games or baseball,
I've been to football games. It's stupid.
Right. But I'm saying those are great seats, and you can see everything, hear the players talk and the hits and whatever. But then change from there and go up to the last seats, the nosebleed seats, and it's like watching on TV when they pan out and you see the play develop. It's like sometimes you got to get out of the 50-yard line seats and go up in the nosebleed seats to be able to see the play develop.
And that's what you did.
And that's what
you went up in your spy balloon. You went up in your spy balloon.
My spy balloon, yeah. Well, I mean, what was Biden going to do?
Actually, I heard, believe it or not, I actually heard about the spy balloon on the news today.
Oh, did you really?
Yes, they were talking about it this morning.
What did they say?
Well, they were still saying, like, what happened to this story?
Right.
What happened to the parts of the balloon that they shot down? Because they did retrieve them.
Right.
Still nothing.
Nothing.
Zero. Which I think is kind of bizarre.
Yeah.
Same thing with all those drones. But I don't want to beat a dead horse. But
yeah. The Chinese spy balloons, which we have something about we have something about students.
We do.
From the
this is kind of we're skipping ahead here.
Oh,
but yeah, but that's all right. We can skip around. There are no rules. But I'm actually kind of upset about this one in that Trump is planning to allow, ready for this one, 600,000 Chinese students to attend universities here. So you're thinking this might be some kind of agreement he made, like a bargaining
kind of trade deal with the tariffs and that sort of thing. Who knows? But
600,000 Chinese student visas. Now, we're talking about people from mainland China, a communist country, and how many did they just throw out because they were spies?
Right.
And now he's giving them more visas.
So the flip side, you got to look at both sides. It's like if they come in and things are progressing back to freedom and getting our rights back that have been stripped away, maybe they won't want to sell our soul to the devil. Maybe they'll want to live free.
I don't buy that at all. And then what about 600,000 American students that are losing seats in a college?
No, I agree with that. I'm just trying to play devil's advocate and look at both sides. If they're actually happy with the way things are progressing and have freedoms that they don't in China, that could be a blow to China. Because then
it could be, but I don't think so. Yeah. I really think they should fill those seats first with American students, and then whatever's left over, okay,
with that. Yeah,
whatever's left over, then give them to the foreign students, not necessarily all Chinese,
right,
but spread it out,
right.
But this is really,
I wasn't thrilled when I saw that either, but there's some things that have come up that I'm like, I'm not sure about that, but then you see the play develop, and it's like
this one bothers me though. Yeah. It can, because of everything that's been going on over the years with China, and I just don't trust them.
Yeah.
Call me weird, call me strange, but
it's all good.
So there's the people that are screaming and yelling, like, well, I haven't been screaming and yelling about it, but I feel strongly about it. But there are, like Marjorie Taylor Greene, she's being really, really vocal about this. And she said, if refusing to allow these Chinese students to attend our schools causes 15% of them to fail, then these schools should fail anyhow because they are being propped up by the CCP, which is the Communist Chinese Party.
And it may be a test. And maybe, sticking your toe in the water to see what the backlash is or whatever. I'm not saying that he's going to, there was a couple things that he made statements on that kind of backed off on.
Well, I hope this is going to be one of them.
Yeah, we'll see.
Because this just, all the conservatives are losing it.
Also, he's got to get the citizens involved. And just like we're talking, we're not out marching in the streets necessarily, but we are putting our opinions out there, trying to break it down, make sense of it, kind of make it simple for the everyday people, because that's all we are. We're everyday people.
Speak for yourself.
He's got to get, we got to get out of this. They're kings and they're famous.
Oh, absolutely. You said that the last episode, and I agree with you 100% on that. I think that's
what's happening is more people are getting involved and understanding and waking up to the fact that, wow, yeah, crime was really bad in D.C. So
for years,
this is the example.
For years, it's been bad.
And then the baton's passed to the people. They got to maintain it.
But you're talking about this whole thing about putting the politicians up on a pedestal like they're kings and queens. I mean, look what they did in the 60s with the Kennedys. They called it Camelot.
Yes, right. Yeah.
And they put them way up here, and that whole family was super corrupt. Way back to like dear old Joe, who was a bootlegger, and he basically bought, his kids,
right,
political futures, power, whatever.
So, this has got to be a long-term thing. And, whether you hate Trump or like Trump, he is putting it out there, and then he's going to have to pass the baton because it's not one person that's going to be able to maintain it. It's gotten so bad that there's been so many, in my opinion, corrupt people getting into power that are just out for themselves, that now we have to get the people that are silent or feel like they can't speak. Now that could, because that's the majority of the people in the country. They have to get involved. Now,
okay. Classic example. I live in an HOA. I mean, it's a lake community. There's 400 families, 400 houses, whatever, property owners. At the last board meeting, guess how many people showed up?
Right.
Take a wild guess. Out of 400 and something houses.
I don't know. Maybe I'm going to say 12.
It was like 8.
Okay.
That's pathetic.
Right.
But yet I see him on Facebook screaming and yelling about everything that's going on. We'll go to a meeting.
Right. Now,
same thing with that. Those are the same people that you're talking about that don't go out there and scream and yell about the politics.
Right, or they don't register to vote or whatever. But you got to stop. Like, this is our part of the start of trying to get ourselves involved too
and make a difference.
And everybody's got to kind of get out of their safe space. And you might have a house and 2 cars and a TV in every room, but that's only going to stay if the country stays semi-free. I mean, right now we're on the cusp of, or we were on the cusp of losing everything. So,
I still think we are, because it's like this close.
Yeah. But it's going to be up to the people. It's just like every other country that's fallen, whether it's China or Venezuela or Russia under communism and socialism and all this stuff. By the way, none of that's ever worked for the people. It's only worked for people in power.
It worked out for the Romanovs real well.
Yeah. It's got, you have to get involved. And I think it's on purpose that people said, made politics so dirty and out there that it is dirty. Because people say, I hate politics. It's disgusting, all this stuff, but it's running your life. So
absolutely,
if you just blow it off, it's going to take over. And it doesn't have to be politics. It can just be a community that has people voicing the community and making laws and doing things for the community, the country, because the country is a community. So if we get that stigma out of our heads, and I didn't follow politics, you know what I mean? I mean, election cycle, I'd pay attention a little bit, but I never got into all this stuff that has happened.
This was at our 10, kitchen table.
Years.
This was our kitchen table since I'm like, when I was an embryo.
Right. And, like I said, I wanted to vote in the primary, so that's why I actually picked a party. I was independent. And I don't think that's fair that just anybody can't vote. Depending on what state you are, you can. But anyway, that's a different topic. But again, it's the citizens that have to stay involved. And you don't have to be in charge. You just have to pay attention and keep the people that are elected in charge, their feet to the fire, and make sure they do what they're going to, it's best for the community. And everybody's gotten into their own little world and worrying about their own 401 and their retirement. And and your kids can't buy a house till they're 39. I mean, unless you're paying for it. So what's going to happen to their kids? What are they going to be in their 50s?
Yeah, basically, if you if you use the same math.
I mean, I see some young kids, I say young because I'm older, in their late teens, even mid-teens, 20s, and they're busting their humps. And they're going to have a tough time out there no matter what. And it was always, you needed a higher education. You had to graduate and you had to go on to school.
Trade schools. Yeah. That's where it's at.
Yeah. Because all this infrastructure, the electrical grid, all that's getting old. And it's going to have to be rebuilt by somebody. And if we don't have people to do it, it's not going to get any better. So trade schools, obviously.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. But you have to, it's the same thing with like I was talking about passing a baton. It's what are you leaving your kids? When you're gone, we all know what happens. Kids may not want to be the same as you, or, they may be doing it, but what's happening, your inheritance, you're leaving them. How far is that going to really go?
Not far at all,
if
really.
They can't support it and grow on it. So that's I think that's what's happening. I think he's trying to make an example for the people of the country to maintain it. And we have to keep going.
So Chicago is probably going to be next on his list because it's bad. Mm-hmm. So another bloody weekend in Chicago this past weekend. And a lot of the residents that were interviewed, and we're talking about some like nasty neighborhoods, they said they would welcome reinforcements of the National Guard.
Oh, they were even saying that. I was seeing it around the election about the city council getting together and people up in arms about.
Well, do you remember that
crime?
There was I think he was a minister or a town councilman, or maybe he was a minister who was a town councilman in Chicago, and he would go up on a rooftop. Do you remember him with the press?
Yeah, vaguely, yeah.
And you could hear all the shooting in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Yeah. But they say crime is down.
Yeah, no.
From where?
No. So D.C., he wants to take the same effort that he's making in D.C. into Chicago. Mm-hmm. And supposedly in D.C., 12 days without a homicide. Then Chicago, Trump said Chicago's a total mess. That was on Friday, saying it's the next one, meaning that's the next city but I don't know if he can do it legally.
Right.
We shall find out.
It's going to depend on what he did in L.A. with the enacting the executive order for what was it about the invasion?
Right.
So we'll have to see what happens there. He just can't just walk in and take over the city.
So there's a woman, Danielle Carter Walters. She's a black woman in Chicago, and she is the co-founder of Chicago Flips Red, a group of Windy City Trump supporters. And she said, our communities are out of control. The destruction, the devastation of what's happening. We're being displaced out of our homes by illegal aliens. And she told that to the Chicago Sun-Times. There's a lot of us, thousands, silently supporting us. And she thinks that most people think that black women cannot be MAGA, meaning making America great again. And all of a sudden, people are seeing that there's a lot of them, more than they thought.
Want safety. They want education. They want a life.
They want the same stuff we want.
Absolutely.
We're all just people. I don't care what color you are. We all want the same thing.
Exactly.
She is on the south side of Chicago, and she said it's really, really bad, like really bad. And guess who is like making a stink?
The mayor.
Absolutely. And Rahm Emanuel.
Is it Brandon Johnson? Is that his name?
I forget his name.
I don't remember if he's a city council or I've heard that all over the clips when they were going to the council meetings. There was Brandon Johnson. So I'm assuming that he's trying to say everything's fine. Don't worry.
Well, what's interesting is the former first assistant state's attorney general of Cook County, which is where Chicago is. The guy's name is Robert Milan. He's counted among those who were supporting Trump's plan. And former Mayor Rahm Emanuel, right, to flood high crime areas with more police and National Guard. Now, that's funny. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's really funny that these guys are saying, yeah, let's get this going.
Right. Yep.
So this should be quite interesting.
Yeah. And again,
because now the Democrats are coming over, some of them, the smart ones.
Yep. Well, I think they see the ratings. If you're really paying attention, again, DC is going to be made the example.
Right. That'll be the poster child.
Yeah. And why are these other places not like DC?
Well, look who's running Chicago.
But he's going to make the example.
Look who's running Illinois. The governor's an idiot.
Who's been running DC.
I know. Same thing with New York.
So if I can do it here, it can be done other places.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it's not done by crisis counselors.
No, that's a joke.
Yeah.
I mean, especially when somebody's shooting at you.
Well, not only is it a joke as far as, thinking that they can clean up gangs and all this other stuff. It's putting those people at risk.
Oh, absolutely. It's putting them at risk.
It's like, what are you thinking? They're not armed. They're not, I don't know. It's stupidity as far as I'm concerned, but that's my opinion.
No, I'm right there with you.
Yeah.
I have the same one.
Yeah.
I just hope that you're right. And I hope that Trump can actually do what he says he's going to do.
Well, he's got a strong administration behind him. So,
but look how many people are fighting him.
Oh yeah.
It's unbelievable.
But look at the last 10 years. I mean, they've fought him since he come down the escalator.
Even before that, really, when he started just talking about maybe.
Yeah.
Although I remember when he was on Oprah's TV show and she was asking, would you ever run for president? And he said, no, unless it got so bad, then he would come in and fix it. And that's exactly what he did. Mm-hmm. And she just kind of laughed and ha, ha, ha.
Yep.
And here we are.
Yep.
And now she's like.
And again, I really had there was a time in November after the election, Biden got elected, that there was questions about the voting and the mail-in ballots and all this stuff. And there was a quiet time, and it just seemed to me, looking out, it was like, do we press this? Because I don't think he had the citizens backing him like he did in 2024 election.
Who?
Trump.
Probably not.
He had his base backing him, but there was nowhere near the people just waking up and go, whoa, wait a minute,
But I really think that we had to go through the 4 years of Biden.
No, that's what I was getting at. I think there was
to appreciate what he had.
Decision made of, okay, this is what you voted for, or let this happen. Let's just see where it goes. And people were not happy with the way it was going.
So I really think it was supposed to happen that way.
Yeah.
From the guy up there.
Yeah.
You can think I'm nuts, but that's my podpinion.
So it's kind of like, I don't know, somebody or maybe even family member, kid, you keep telling them, don't do that. They want to keep doing it. It's like, okay, good.
And here we are.
And they learn.
Right.
So I think it took the nation learned in 4 years,
but
where he couldn't have not gotten away. I don't think he could have been as like, okay, now we're going to make the examples.
Yeah, he wouldn't have been able to do all this.
Right.
I don't think.
No, he wouldn't have had the support.
But yeah, you still have guys or people that got their heels dug in that he's like the orange terror.
Oh, sure. Absolutely. And that's always going to be that's always going to happen.
But I mean, some of these people, some of my musician friends, they're Bruce. I showed you some of these, but these people are out of their minds. They need mental help.
Yeah.
I mean, they seriously need a shrink. Yeah. It's scary.
Sending the crisis counselors there. Huh?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I showed you some of these posts on Facebook and elsewhere, and these people are mentally ill.
Mm-hmm. But again, they're speaking on fictitious stuff. There's no.
But you hit them with facts and they lose it. Well, I mean, they start raging.
They look bad.
But they start raging. It's like, because oh yeah, by the way,
they're not correct.
Here's a fact.
Right? Yeah, and they don't want to be wrong. They're it's like exposing the sunlight, vampire to a sunlight. They can't.
Well, or throwing holy water on a vampire.
So it's like you just have to forget the personality, forget the, what everybody's called everybody, and just look what's happened, the actual facts, boots on the ground, what's happening in this country, and it's not good, or at least it wasn't good.
It still sucks.
We're all trying to turn it around. The ones that are hopeful that we can leave our kids and grandkids a better place than our 401k we stayed on, or built up. That's only going to last for so long. So you just look at the house prices, you look at the land prices, you look at, everything else, and just the availability of homes. Housing crisis.
Have you been on Trulia lately or any of those real estate things? There's like 1 million houses available everywhere.
Mm-hmm. But what I'm saying is it's gotten to be the norm of, not having anything. Like I was watching a clip this morning. We talked about, there was a woman and young woman, and she was saying about different things she was against and more conservative leaning. But she said that, she likes her room like straight, narrow, crispy clean. Oh, it was Cracker Barrel she was talking about. And, the knickknacks on the wall, you walk in, there's stuff all over. And she's like, Xers, boomers, Gen Z get aggravated because we don't like clutter and we don't like all this knickknacks and all this stuff around. She said, but you go into a Cracker Barrel, that's what you expect.
Absolutely.
That was the atmosphere. Even though she doesn't keep it herself, that's
then
her
don't
atmosphere.
Go there if you don't like that. But
then I get to thinking, it's like, okay, so what's been the big push? It's like, what changed, right? That's what I always say, what changed? And the big push was, well, you have to unclutter your mind. So you have to unclutter everything around you and positive thoughts only and all this stuff. And then, you get to thinking, you walk into this cold, just
sterile,
no feeling, sterile room. It's almost like a prison cell. There's nothing on the wall. There's just, everything's one color. Everything's just there where you need it. You don't need anything extra. And there's no history there. There's nothing. Where have you been? Where we come from? Not saying that you have to, have your house decorated like Cracker Barrel, but growing up, parents kept everything, right?
I still have some of it.
Yeah. So there's some kind of mental play going on in my Podpinion there, where it's you've taken the kids, you put them into school, you educate them, you got the parents out of the picture for the most part, created herd mentality where the majority of kids don't want clutter. They just want a phone and, their clean room with no history, no checking on, what happened in our past. They don't want anything from anybody that has been before them. They don't want a set of dishes. They don't want this. They,
I've got 4 sets of china if anybody's interested. I can't give this stuff away.
So, but that is, I believe, my opinion, that is a sign of the generation being steered that way.
No, it's possible
to own nothing and be happy with it.
But that's communism.
Yes.
The way they live in all these different, cultures.
Yep.
Well, you go to Japan and everything's
you just have what you
sterile.
Need, but the government supplies it to everything,
Well, not in Japan.
No, but I'm saying that's the 15-minute cities they were talking about where everything's within 15 minutes. You didn't have to go anywhere. Don't even have to leave your house or apartment.
Well, it's like that now. I mean, Amazon just shows
domicile,
up. I ordered something. I ordered something on Amazon for my trumpet, right? It was a mouthpiece puller, right? Because I couldn't find mine, or I loaned it to somebody, and it's so I order one on Amazon in the morning. By 1 o'clock, it was at my front door. Mm-hmm. That's just kind of weird.
Mm-hmm. And what happened in the past was
I'd have to go to the store.
Well, you had a couple music stores in the area,
which there's like none,
right? And you would have to hope that they would have it. And if you were a regular, they probably had stocked up on 1 or 2, left it in there because they know you're going to come in eventually. And all that mom and pop
is gone.
It's gone. And it's all been erased by warehouses. And I've seen videos of, Walmart drone dropping a bag of chips in somebody's yard, and all that's gone. Is that how we want to live?
I don't. Although it is convenient.
Oh, absolutely. But is that where it's just,
no, I like going to the store and touching, smelling, feeling, licking,
It's very cold and uncaring. And when you really look at how society has become, the crime in the cities and that sort of thing, it's very cold and uncaring. It's just
1984.
There is no compassion. It's just,
okay, let me ask you a question.
This is what I want, and this is it.
And this is a question for you guys too. So when you were growing up, did you know all your neighbors?
Yeah.
Right. You could probably still name them. Mm-hmm. Same thing with you, right? You knew all your neighbors. Mm-hmm. Same thing with me. I mean, it was like an open door policy. I'd be at the next door neighbors. Oh, you want to stay for dinner? Whatever. Mm-hmm. Right. I don't know any of my neighbors now.
Oh, no, of course. Yeah.
Do you know yours? No.
Nope.
Do you know your neighbors? Maybe.
Yeah.
I know one.
Yeah. That's what I was just going to say. I know one.
But she's been there forever.
Yeah.
So, but it's sad. That's really sad.
Right.
And some of them that I've seen, I don't want to get to know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, there was always those neighbors in the town too that everybody kind of shunned away from.
Yeah, but I'm surrounded by them now, and we have a lot of Airbnbs.
Yeah,
because we're on a lake.
Yeah, so you have a big turnover,
and it's
they are strangers just coming in,
and they make a loud noise, and
But again, that's coming. That's again, it's like. There's no community there.
No, there isn't.
There's just transients that are coming in and out, and there's no feelings for who's there and.
But I really miss that.
Getting to know.
It was almost like family. The street I grew up on, it was like family, and a lot of us we stayed in touch. To this day. I mean, we don't see each other a lot, but Facebook got us hooked up, but I stayed in touch with quite a few of them, of my old neighbors, and it was great. Mm-hmm. And I really wish that kind of community was present today.
Mm-hmm. With compassion, because there's people that know other people, but
no, it was literally like family.
No, right. I get you. And that's what I'm getting at too. It's like, them, but this one down the street has a lawn cutting business, so you do that, and maybe make a couple extra bucks, but you know each other and you're friendly and whatever. But
yeah, it's not like you hang out and have dinner together.
Right.
But that's what I'm talking about.
Yes. And the parents would get together, the kids would play together. And, it wasn't always fair. I was not great at sports growing up. Wanted to be, but, I had asthma when I was younger, so I was limited to what I could do. And so I wasn't always picked the first one. But I look back at that, and I wouldn't have it any other way, because it wasn't like they excluded me. It's just I couldn't perform that necessarily function, but I was still involved. And I think nowadays trying to include everybody just because.
Could you imagine? He didn't pick me.
Yeah. And then, everybody gets punished. But that other podcast I was watching, he's a very well-known singer who basically went out on his own after his contract got done.
Oh, yeah. This is the guy you were telling me about this afternoon, right?
One of the comments that he came up with, and I've run into this personally. It's like when a parent says, or a child says something to a parent, and the parent says, because I said so.
Oh, I used to get that all the time from my dad.
And it's not the parent's obligation to necessarily write a novel out so the child can completely understand exactly where you're coming from and then find out what the child's feelings are. It's because I said so. Now, we can talk about it at some point, maybe, but the parent sometimes knew the child wasn't going to be able to understand it. And there are some instances where, because I said so, was because that was to protect a child, not just to be in charge. And we've lost that. There is no more actual, you have to kind of explain everything out to the point where you're trying to make the child equal instead of letting a child grow into who they are.
How can you explain that to a 5-year-old? You can't.
Right. But that was the way it was. And you had respect for your
absolutely
elders that said, because I said so.
And if you made a stink, it's like, oh yeah, I'll show you.
But there was a reason. And sometimes, maybe you wanted to go out on a date with somebody and that person definitely was not right for you.
You're not going.
Why? Because I said so.
And that was it. End of story.
Right. And, and then if you kept pushing it, then, could get grounded or whatever.
Give me the car keys.
But that was a form of protection for your future. And not getting picked, I think I got stronger in other areas, whereas, I wasn't necessarily coddled. My mom didn't come down and chew out the whole team because I didn't get picked first.
But did you get a participation trophy?
I did not. But I did get a couple scraped knees because I was allowed to even play.
Do you remember?
Do you remember? Got hit with a couple balls because I was.
Do you remember those scraped knees and you get gravel in it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh man, do you remember that?
Yeah.
Fall off your bicycle and you get the gravel in your knee. Oh man.
Then after 3 days, you're showing it off like a badge. Look at that! Look at that piece in there.
Ooh, that's what it reminded when you just said that. The scrape, it's wow.
But and those are bonds, and even there was one neighbor kid that was not neighbor kid, my best friend that was the neighbor.
He was a neighbor kid.
His cousin would come over, and he was just a jerk. And he was not very nice to me. And but I learned, not everybody is nice, and you can't, just because somebody is your friend doesn't mean that everybody in their family or everybody is the same as them.
Absolutely. You have that in your own family.
Right.
I have relatives that I haven't talked to in years. Why? I don't want to.
Mm-hmm. And, so it's not okay to try and, make everything sterile for everybody. People got to learn.
So getting back to the restaurant.
Yep.
See how we did that? We just made like this big, huge circle. Now we came back.
Now we're coming for the chicken and biscuits, baby.
I read a post on, I forget which social media platform, but it was one of those copy and paste things. Mm-hmm. It was like, I guess they attributed it to Robert something or other, but he supposedly was a advertising executive back, in the 70s and 80s. He came up with this whole thing about they should fire the CEO immediately and they should shut down every restaurant for a week, retrain the staff and retrain all the chefs and start using fresh food instead of canned and frozen. Mm-hmm. And he said, and that would do it. Yep. And then their advertising plan would be, well, yeah, we goofed.
Right.
And we're making it better.
That's one thing about this country. We are forgiving. If you come out and you say, oops, I screwed up. Not all the time. If it was, something really bad, well, you still need to take the punishment. But, the country is forgiving to say, okay, everybody messes up. We'll give you a shot. Don't do it again. We'll give you a shot. So, Trump had put out a post today about the Cracker Barrel is they ought to just come out and say they messed up.
Well, it's like remember when the
executive,
the whole board. I mean,
yeah.
Well, I'm surprised the board didn't come down on the CEO. Mm-hmm. I'm amazed.
And, some things that I didn't notice, because the logo change, then they had different examples of different chains that have changed their logo. I don't know that it's countrywide because I don't necessarily see it around here all the time, but like McDonald's and Taco Bell and some of these other.
Well, I remember when Taco Bell changed it because Pepsi owns Taco Bell, and that was like a big, huge thing.
Right. But it's very just clean, no feelings. It's just sterile. It's a sterile.
Well, even the Pepsi logo changed.
Yeah. So
Coca-Cola stayed the same. But do you remember when they changed the formula?
Yeah.
And everybody went nuts, including me.
But we all tried it. We're like, all right, let's
that new Coke was awful.
It was bad. It was horrible. But we tried it, right?
I tried it, but I didn't buy it again.
And what did they do?
They went back to the old formula.
They said, we're messed up, and Coke is still around today.
It is.
I don't know that it would have lasted.
Probably not, because nobody was buying it. Everybody switched to Pepsi.
Right. So. And
now everybody's switching to Pepsi because they're using real sugar instead of fructose corn syrup.
Right. So, that's what they have to do. I mean, that's exactly what they have to do. They have to say we messed up, and they should try to rebrand themselves as far as using fresh stuff and retrain the staff and close down for a week and just say, listen, we really messed up. And,
and take all those.
I think their profits will, I would drive someplace. If they did that, I would drive an hour just to go to a Cracker Barrel.
Well, and then they should go back and take all the stores that they changed that are now sterile and put them back the way they used to be.
Exactly. Yep.
Put the wagon wheels back on the wall.
Right. Exactly. What's wrong with that?
Nothing. It was like walking into a museum. It was cool.
Yeah. Now, if you don't get into that, well, then
don't go.
Don't go. That's all. It's your choice.
Then go to Perkins.
Right. Exactly. Right. Exactly.
I'm not a big Perkins fan, but.
Yeah. But, different stroke for different folks.
That's like the staple on the road is like Perkins, Denny's, crack, Right.
And they've all become kind of the same.
Yeah, but you get really, it gets old real fast when you're on the road and living out of a bus,
We do need a Waffle House around here.
We do.
But
then you have fights. Yeah. Waffle houses are notorious for fights.
Well, that's, any place in the cities, I guess that doesn't matter.
You know what I do miss?
Because the crime isn't under control.
Correct. What I do miss is 24-hour diners.
Yes, that is.
What happened to those? Even in New Jersey, the diner capital of the world, there are no 24-hour diners.
Stopped after COVID, really.
Yeah.
You look at even the big box stores, they're closing at 8, 9 o'clock.
Well, I know the Walmart here is closing early because they had a shooting in the parking lot late at night. Mm-hmm. I mean, you take your life in your hands.
Right. But everybody got used to having some time off. And I think, it's almost like growing up Sundays, whether you were religious or not,
Everything was closed.
Make it to the store between 12 and 4.
You're done.
And the gas stations were all closed. So you had to gas up Saturday before
everything closed.
You had to go to grandma's.
Well, everything was closed on Sundays, at least where I grew up.
You didn't have a convenience store. You didn't have a little convenience store at every gas station. It was lucky you had a gas station open.
Yeah, with bays that they actually did repairs in.
And maybe the A-Treat soda machine was working.
A-Treat soda.
Yeah.
They have the best ginger ale.
Yes. And they got glass bottles with the very fizzy.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now,
no microplastics.
No, that's another one. It's big on the news again this week was microplastics.
Yeah.
And all kinds of weird stuff. But
what's that stuff that they use for keep you regular?
Miralax.
I looked that up. We'll look that up.
Why? There's like a ton of microplastics in it?
I think it is plastic.
Really? Oh, that's creepy.
I think it's made with plastic. I'm not positive, so don't quote me.
Oof.
But I just happened to see, I was in this, walking down an aisle, and I looked, and it just looked very
strange.
Oh, just because I was in the plastic industry, the description popped out at me and I didn't think to stop and look at it. So we'll have to check that out.
You need that Yucca app.
Yes.
Which is YUKA. It's a little carrot. Go to the app store and you can scan a barcode in the store and it'll tell you everything that's in it, good, bad, and otherwise. And it'll say, this one's bad, this one's good, this one's not. And it'll show you like all the additives and what they do to you. So that's Yucca, YUKA. It's a good app.
You showed it to me. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, it's very cool.
Yep.
So now we had that moron in Florida, the 18-wheel driver that killed 3 people by doing an illegal U-turn in the middle of an interstate.
Now I'm seeing a couple other instances.
They're
people
everywhere. Everywhere.
Yeah. That, got, thank goodness that nobody got hurt, but all had to stop because a truck come over and is waiting there in the center medium waiting to make the U-turn and the highway.
Where are the state police?
Yeah.
Seriously, even here, you go on 80 and I don't see any state troopers. And these people are driving like maniacs.
Well, we've talked about it. Who wants to be a cop these days?
Nobody. I feel bad for them.
Yeah, no.
So there's been multiple fatal crashes this week tied to illegal aliens, not immigrants, not migrants, illegal aliens. And they're getting arrested left and right. One, a 15-year-old kid on a bicycle got hit, and the authorities in different parts of the country have been announcing that the arrests of multiple illegal aliens accused of fatally striking drivers, pedestrians, and even a teen on a bicycle in recent days, according to authorities and local newspapers. So it seems that it's a daily occurrence now, and they're illegal aliens. So those of you who keep calling them migrants and that they should be here, kumbaya, that's exactly how I feel about it.
It's just Podpinion.
That's my Podpinion. Absolutely. But the Assistant Secretary for Public Affairs at the Department of Homeland Security, Tricia McLaughlin. What?
You remind me of watching Bongino.
Oh.
With the foot up.
I'm subbing. I'm trying to fill the void. But she said that this was all preventable if these illegal aliens were not in our country. In Louisiana, a 31-year-old by the name of Juan Alfredo Chavarria is accused of slamming into a bicycle-riding 15-year-old boy and killing him. It's disgusting, right? And the guy was drunk. Then another one on August 10th left a woman dead and her husband seriously injured, according to the authorities there. Police arrested Julio Cesar Herrera Gonzalez on a drunken driving charge, vehicular homicide, and other charges at the time. And then he had a criminal record once they booked him.
What really aggravates me is the people trying to gloss it over by saying, oh, well, there's drunk drivers. Americans are, they drive drunk too.
Well, these two people would be here if these people weren't here illegally.
Correct.
So, end of story. That's it.
I'm sick of hearing it. I am sick of hearing it.
Well, let's compare. It's these two lives. They'd still be here today. The families wouldn't be going through what they're going through, burying their kids, burying, their brother, their sister, they would be here today. And you cannot defend that by any argument because it's a fact. It's not fiction. It's a fact that they would be here today if that person wasn't there at that point in time illegally doing what they were doing.
Absolutely. It's also happening in Maine, Massachusetts, Wisconsin, California, New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania. Like, enough already.
Yeah, I just saw it real quick, something about in Florida. I don't know whether DeSantis is doing something with the checks at the
truck stops.
The way stations.
Yeah, they're doing that here too, or they're going to start.
Yeah,
unless Josh Shapiro squishes it.
Well, I mean, then again,
he's our governor.
These other states will be the example.
Well, I think Florida's a real good example.
PA to not put up with it anymore.
But it's disgusting.
Election time is coming.
I know, but I'm so sick of hearing all these bleeding hearts saying, "Oh, but they need they have families and they're here. They're trying to make do good and get a job." No, bullshit.
Again, just do it legally.
Right.
It's all. Just do it legally.
But I'm sick of hearing about it.
Yeah. No, I know.
Because now we're having people getting killed, and I'm sure it was happening before, but just now it's getting reported.
Right. Yep. Yeah. Before it was kind of swept under the rug, and defund the police, and everything's hunky dory, and the crime is down, and blah 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 blah. Yeah, I know. We got to go.
Yeah. It's that time.
Trying to keep it around an hour. So,
yeah. But thanks for being with us. And we're going to continue this when we come back on the next episode.
That's right. Yeah. We've got other things to talk about. So we didn't get to it all today, but
we'll get it.
We'll get it. That's for sure.
Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah. Thanks. See you next time. Bye.
Slam the follow button. This is Podpinions.